Mr. and Mrs. Young, we will hear from the Reverend David Ames, the Reverend Amy Frenza, the Reverend Jean Dizlewski. Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Young, which of you would like to begin?
Well, I'll start. Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to come here today. As you guys know, we didn't have a baby before, and now we do. And that's because we had a baby who grew in Kara's womb and has come into the world. And Kara's photographs of the baby from the ultrasound. And
Mr. Young, we have 12 bills that we are considering this evening. There are a lot of people waiting to testify after you. We are asking people to keep their comments to 2 minutes. So,
yep. Obviously you know our position that we support all the pro-life bills and oppose the bills that are against life. There's a great movie here. I got a copy for everybody on the committee. It's called My Alpha 21, and it shows the ties between racism and abortion, which most people are unaware of. But it's a very well documented fact that abortion and Planned Parenthood was started by eugenicists who believed in ethnic cleansing. And it's a very well documented fact. And I got a video DVD for each of you to watch later on, and it will substantiate that position and give you facts that you may not have known. We believe that many people have been tricked into their positions on abortion because they're unaware that they've been manipulated into supporting what really is ethnic cleansing and a depopulation program. Margaret Sanger was a racist who spoke adamantly against the African American race, who founded Planned Parenthood. She said if the Negro knew that we're trying to kill them all off, they would try and stop us. She spoke before the Ku Klux Klan, and she was the founder of Planned Parenthood. Obviously, you guys know that there's a U.S. Supreme Court case now titled McCullen, which is before the U.S. Supreme Court, that obviously goes to leafleting and the right to petition on public sidewalks, and that there's plenty of substantiation within that case that says that it's unconstitutional.
Mr. Young, that's the 2 minute.
Okay, here's a copy of the movie, okay?
Thank you. Kara Young.
Hi. Thank you for allowing us to speak tonight. I wanted to start out with just a couple of quotes. I want the general public to know what the doctors know, that this is a person, that this is a baby, that this is not some kind of blob of tissue. That is a quote by Dr. Anthony Levantino, former abortionist. Here's a quote by Ward Kisher, PhD, human embryologist at the University of Arizona. Every human embryologist in the world knows that the life of a new individual human being begins at fertilization. It is not a belief, it is scientific fact. And by world-renowned geneticist, the late Dr. Jerome Lejeune, each of us has a very precise starting moment, which is a time at which the whole necessary and sufficient genetic information is gathered inside one cell, and this is the moment of fertilization. From the moment of conception on, nothing new is added to us except oxygen, nutrition, and time. Our baby, Mary here, we had an ultrasound done on December 19th, 3 days before she was born, right here. And she was just as much of a person then as she was when she was born 3 days later. It doesn't matter that she was inside of me. It's a question of location. Saying that she's not a person before she was born is like saying that a car is not a car if it's in a garage. They have to drive it out of the garage in order for it to be considered a car. It's true. I mean, the baby has a heartbeat from 18 to 21 days on after conception, arms and legs by 7 to 8 weeks. I think it's very interesting that, it's always heralded, you see on TV, oh, life was found on Mars, we found a single-cell organism here or there. Well, the baby in the womb has over 500 cells within just a couple of days. There is no debate. It's a false dichotomy, a false dilemma that's set up by the pro-abortion side, saying nobody knows when life begins, when in fact it's a scientific fact. It's Biology 101 that life does begin at conception. And I want you to take that into consideration when voting on these bills this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Questions from the committee for Mr. and Mrs. Young?
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Young. Best of luck with Mary.
Name's Emmanuel Mary Packer. His name's after God.
Someone had signed Father Healy of the Diocese of Rhode Island up to testify as Father